So this bill will do that. So basically, if you don't have a kid in the school district, you can challenge one book per month. And I think that will help short-circuit these frivolous challenges, because it's being done to create a narrative that somehow, oh my gosh, all these books are quote, banned. No book is banned in Florida. The most grotesque pornographic books that are in schools that have been removed because they're not appropriate, you can go buy it at a bookstore. If that's what floats your boat, you're able to do that. But do not jam that down the throats of a sixth grade child. That's wrong. And it's wrong because parents don't want it. So let parents make those decisions and be able to do. But the frivolous book challenges need to stop. What's gone on in this county has not been something that the law has tried to do. In fact, just the opposite. So we want to make sure that hopefully and look, in spite of the media, some of the narratives that get put out there, most school districts like Manny have almost no removals or very little challenges for this. A lot of the school districts aren't even messing with some of the nonsense that's being done. There are some that are doing. There's one in particular that's got some really bad stuff the parents are fighting, and I know the state's looking at what it can do. But my ideal would be that none of this, that no parent would have to go in and register an objection. When I was growing up, we didn't have books that were a problem. No one said anything. It was like you did normal school. Now all of a sudden it's like you're trying to pursue an agenda. So we're not going to do that. But just as it's wrong for a school district, an activist, teacher, a school union to try to impose an agenda on the students, it's also wrong for citizen activists or parents to do these passive-aggressive false challenges to try to act like somehow we don't want education in Florida. So this bill does correct that. Now there was thought about, I know the legislature thought about, should we just say if you don't have a kid in school, you shouldn't be able to do anything? And I think ultimately what they did was right, because yeah, you may not have kids in school, but if you're a resident and a taxpayer, you have a right to be concerned about what's going on in the schools. I think that's an important part of the community. So to say that they can't be involved at all was probably too far, but clearly this has been abused. Clearly people are trying to pursue an agenda, and we're saying that is not consistent with the state laws or state policies governing these matters. I mean, the number of challenges should be very rare. And if you look at some of the most problematic books, that is a very, very small number of the total amount of books that are being done. And so it's a small thing, but I think it's indicative of what's the purpose of education. Is the purpose of education to impose an agenda on the students? Not what I believe, not what our founding fathers believed. I think the purpose of education is to provide students with the tools to be able to acquire knowledge and think for themselves. And that's really what we're striving for here in the state of Florida. I don't think it necessarily would by the text, but I think that the issue is the fact that the legislature has weighed in like this should be evidence that how that was done was not consistent with the spirit of the law. And so let's stop playing games with all this. Let's make sure that we get to education, not indoctrination, and really focus on that. And if we do that, I think everybody is going to be happy. And you know what? If you as a parent have an interest in educating your kids on some of the things that most of the other parents find inappropriate, you do have that right to do. It's not something that the government's going to come over and oversee. But the idea that a parent sending their kid to school should have to worry about some of the garbage that we've seen out there put into their school system, no, you shouldn't have to worry about that as a parent. You should rest assured, send your kid to first grade. They are not going to be told that they were born in the wrong body. That's in Florida. That is not going to happen. So let's just agree to that, and let's agree to have high standards and promote good education. All right. Thanks, everybody. God bless.